y'all, Grandma Rose here. I am in the process of uppotting my tomato plants. You see this? Look over there behind me. I've got sawhorses up, 2x4s, and my plants that I've started, my tomato starts are right there. And it's time to move them into bigger pots. They need to be buried a little bit deeper, and I have about another week before I'm going to be able to get them in the ground. Well, maybe earlier than that, but probably about another week. And they need to have more water. They're starting to droop every day. I'm having to water them every day, and that's not necessary if I put them in larger pots. So here we go. Let me show you what I'm doing. Now I've already done some, but I am going to demonstrate what I'm doing as I do it. Let me turn this around and let you see what I've done. All right, working on my steps with my good dog sitting behind me. So I have already done, four or so in these just white cups. They're not that big, 4 or 5 inch tall. I think just for the length of time that they're going to be sitting out here before I get them in the garden will be fine. Now if it was going to be longer, I would have put them in bigger cups than this. But I like these white paper cups because I can write on them easily. They were less expensive than the plastic cups, and also I think more ecologically friendly than the plastic cups because I can compost these where I couldn't the other ones. So as you see, I've got Kellogg's Breakfast, see that there, Kellogg's Breakfast and Italian heirloom there, and there's a Floridale, and you can't see the other ones. Those are Dr. Witch's Yellow. So those are the ones that I've already done, and I'm getting ready to do some more. So I'll put this camera on the tripod and you'll be able to watch along with me. Let's do it. Now, one thing that's important that I need to show you. These are hard to get out of the containers. You just can't tap them out. The easiest way, you see this, I don't know if you can see on the ground. No, you can't. But the easiest way to do this is to take them over to a hard surface like this, like the edge of a tabletop, or in this case, this is on my handrail, the bottom rail, and just tap the edge of the cup. You can see this, like that, and it comes loose. You see that? You can see it or not. But now it's loose, and I can take these out and divide them. Now to divide them, the easiest way is just look at the bottom at the roots, see where the stems are coming up, and just pry them apart. You don't want to damage the roots, so I'm putting my fingers, you see this right here, between the stems and prying them apart, trying not to break the roots. And just letting the soil fall off onto the step and pulling them apart like that. See, this one is a good bit smaller. See, one of them is a lot smaller than the other. So let's put it back in this cup for a minute. And now I need to get my cups ready with soil in them. Now, as tall as this plant is right here, I will probably put very, very little soil at the bottom of the cup because I want to bury this deep. So I'll put a little bit of soil in the bottom of the cup so the roots will have some soil to go into at the bottom. And then put this down in the cup and then just fill it to the top. And that'll do it. Now the smaller one, this one, which is smaller, I will put more soil down into it and probably just make a hole in it and put these roots down in the bottom of it. But I still want to bury it up to at least to the seed leaves right here. This is the first leaf where my thumb is. That's the cotyledon or the seed leaf. And I'm going to bury these, so that's almost 2 inches of stem that's going to be buried. And the tomatoes will put out what are called adventitious roots along the stem. Now let's look at this one. On this one you can see how hairy the stem is? Now a lot of people believe that the hairs actually turn into roots, but that's not the case. The roots come out from on the stem in between the hairs. And as I said, they're called adventitious roots. Anything that produces roots along the stem would be, the roots that it forms along the stem would be called adventitious roots. Let's get this in a new cup. This is my better boy. So the first thing I'm going to do is label the cup. And I need 2 of these. No, actually, I will put the smaller one back in the original cup and save me a cup. So this taller one, I will just put down in there in the cup. I'll put a little bit of soil down in the bottom in just a second. And the smaller one I will just put back in the original cup, like so. Let me be sure and put that tag in. I do not want. That is why I am labeling the cups first. Before I put the plants in the cups, I will label the cups first and only working on one at a time. And that way they're not going to become mislabeled. So there we go. My soil. So in this case, I put about 1 inch of soil in there. I'll put that plant on top of that inch of soil. And then I'm holding it in the center of the cup. You see my fingers holding it in the center. And just add the dirt to it. Did I say dirt? Well, it's dirt. It's soil. Now I'm trying to get the soil up to that level right there. Now that's what I want. See, there's the cotyledon right there, and the soil is up to that level. So that's all there is to it. It's really, really easy. Now this one in this cup, as you see, if you can see it in here, without any soil down in the bottom of the cup, the cotyledons on this one are down here. So I'm going to add just a little bit of soil to the bottom of the cup to bring this plant up to about this level right there. That back down in the cup, and that's the right height now. And that's it. That's how easy it is to up pot. This is something that you should all know how to do. Let's do it one more time. Now this container has there's four rather large plants and one very small one. That seed was late germinating, so all of the other ones got a head start on this last one. So the small one I will put back in this cup, and the other 4 I will move into larger cups. So again, let me take out the tag. I don't want to lose it, and just put it down on the step. These are old brooks. And again, take it over to the edge of my porch rail and tapping it on the side, not knocking the stems, but just tap until it comes loose. If you try to pull the root ball out by the stems, you're very likely to damage it. The easiest way to do it is to tap it on the side of a hard surface like a table edge or like I'm using is my porch rail. And then you can lift these out like that. And again, you just loosen the root ball like so. Just loosen the root ball. You don't want to break the roots, or break as few of the roots as possible. And then you start prying apart from the top side. On the soil, not pulling on the stems at all, but I'm working with my thumbs on the soil, and I'm pulling the soil apart, prying it apart, and then just pulling up like that, and the stems, the roots come loose like so. And the same thing with this one. I put the stems here on my thumbs on the soil, and I'm prying it apart, like that, and then pulling. And we're down to this last one with this tiny little one that's going back into the cup. I'm pulling that one apart, not pulling on the stem at all, keeping my thumbs on the soil and pulling apart from the soil. You want to leave as many roots intact as you can. And now there's one more that needs to be separated. This one is just about falling apart by itself. So that one's just coming apart by itself. I'm not leaving these on the step very long. I'm going to go ahead and get these right into cups. And as I said, I need to label the cups before I put them in. I should have labeled the cups before I even took them out of the other container. So these are Old Brooks. In case anyone's wondering, this is what I'm using. Sharpie has come out with this new pen called an Extreme that supposedly will not fade in the sun like the other Sharpies. We will see how this works. Can't guarantee. It's new. It's a new product. My first time to be using it. So let's just put one of these in each of these cups, and then I'll fill them with soil in a minute. And where's the little one? Oh, there's the little one right here. That little one is going back in this cup. With the label. Let's just get the soil in it, and I'll be done. And that's how easy it is to plant tomatoes. Sabayo. See you next time.